Good morning, everybody. This is Lisa Lachendro reaching out to you from Insurance Agency Marketing Services. I have the pleasure of having my buddy Jeff Altmeier with North American on the call with us. Say hi, Jeff.
Good morning, everyone.
Jeff is our internal wholesaler at North American. He's been there for 7 years. And in the financial industry for over 19. So this guy knows his stuff. He's always there for me when I have a quick question and need some other expert advice on, inherited IRAs or, what the rules and all that stuff. He's got all that at the palm of his hand. So I can't thank him enough for his partnership with us here at IAMS. For the purpose of time here, I am going to go over a little bit of intro with IAMS. I see a lot of familiar names. I appreciate you coming back and seeing us again. And I'm seeing a lot of new names too. So for those that are returning, this might be a little bit of a repeat for you, but we want to make sure all of the new folks that are on are well aware of all the perks and the resources that you have working and partnering with us here in the IAMS family. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. First off, thank you all for taking some time out this morning, to talk to Jeff and myself and let us show you some additional avenues and the VersaChoice product over at North American, how it provides so much flexibility for those clients looking for the answers to the what if questions, inherited IRAs, and then all the perks you get, like I said, with us here at IAMS. Let me get my screen to work. There we go. All right. Well, when you get contracted with IAMS and your first 6 months that you produce business, we are going to thank you for that business by giving you our new producer builders program. As you can see, we have several levels, and each level has a certain amount of, dollars that IAMS is going to be putting back into your business as a thank you. Our ultimate goal here is really to help you grow your business. We want to work with those producers that are wanting to grow, help maintain, and do what we can to, help you reach the goals, professional goals that you're looking to make. So we have different levels, like I said, 100,000, 250, all the way up to $1 million in production. That happens the first 6 months you are contracted with us. Now, Steve Murray, our president, is very, very open to thinking outside the box. And so if you see something on here that really doesn't fit you and there's something else that's working better for you and in the way you would do your marketing or whatnot, let us know. We're more than happy to, this isn't set in stone by any means. We will work with you and talk to you a little bit about, other avenues. And I'll get into our creative team here in a minute. But definitely awesome that we are putting back into your business. We also know that you love referrals, and so do we. We wouldn't be able to, help those folks out or bring that business in if you didn't bring us that referral. So because of that, we want to thank you. We're going to have our referral producer program, which, basically gives you money back in your pocket, just for referring that agent or producer over to us that starts to do business. So here's a little breakdown of how that gets paid back to you. If you have any questions on that, let me know. Then our back office support. Guys, we have a lot of agents that are with us that specifically stay with us, not only for the other perks, but because of our back office support. We help you with all the case design. We give you forms at your fingertips. We help you with life and annuity quotes, paperless contracting, expert advice, coaching. I mean, we are your resource. We are your back office. We want you doing what you do best, and that's out there selling to the clients, being in front of people. Let us take care of all the other legwork for you that, that you everybody pretty much doesn't like to do. So keep that in mind as we're talking here this morning. Next, I encourage you all to go onto our IAMS website. It's just www.imsinc.com. There you're going to get so many different resources. You know, if it's late at night and you're meeting with a client and you need a form, or you need to just, you know, maybe find some sales resource tools or brochures or something, all of this is at your fingertips with our IAMS website. It's also mobile, so you have access to it on your mobile phone as well. But it's going to, like I said, you can do term quotes, you can get online forms, you can have access to Firelight, which I'll get to in a minute. Just a variety of things. If you ever want to walk through on our website to show you how to utilize these tools, give your marketer or myself a call. We've got agents that I've worked with for over a year that didn't realize how much of a resource this website was until I literally walked him through it. And he's like, where has this been all my life? Well, it's been here, but sometimes we just need to, you know, show you where some of these tools are, and we'd be happy to do that. Just give us a call and let us know. On that website, once you're contracted with us, you have access to Firelight. Firelight is one of the best marketing online app services out there, programs out there, I should say. And here's just a few of the carriers that we have. This probably needs to be updated, but this just gives you an idea of how many carriers are available on Firelight, which you can pre-fill the application before you meet with the client and then have them sign electronically while you're with them. You know, the process goes a lot faster in the application. The carrier gets it in good order. There's just so many more pros than cons, you know, to using Firelight. And if you have any questions or want us to walk you through that, we've got videos that give you walkthroughs. Everyone here is trained to help you, you know, get through your first couple apps or all your apps, whatever you need. But definitely encourage you all to utilize that. Next, I told you we were going to talk a little bit about our creative marketing solutions when I was talking to you about the new producer bonus program. We've got some of the most talented guys and gal in our creative marketing services area that can help you with anything from a logo design to just email marketing consulting, social media help. I mean, we can develop a website for you, develop your social media for you, really anything at your fingertips. And they're all here as a resource at IAMS. We're not sourcing that stuff out. So if you have a need for any of these items, let us know. You can also use this as marketing dollars too, and we'll get into that. Next, we have another resource here. When you're contracted and producing business with us, you can utilize our retirement analyzer. This is a program some of you or most of you may have already heard of, but it's a real nice way to report and show a structured way to do a presentation with your clients. Shows you, you know, what your retirement shortfalls are, life insurance shortfalls, you know, and it's a nice system that you can continually keep updated and use for annual reviews or whatnot. So know that we will pay for this. We take the cost for this for you as a resource, again, working with us here at IAMS. Next, I'm proud to announce or introduce our IAMS Wealth Management side of the business as a sister company here at IAMS. Years ago, Charles and Steve thought, you know, what other resource could we provide our agents that have some pain points? And one of them is, you know, if you're not registered or you have a client that needs a something in the securities area, and you don't want to let them leave your backyard, which is definitely something that could possibly happen. We have our IAMS Wealth Management team to do several different things for you. You can either join them, you know, and be, you know, use them as your resource, you know, go through them as a broker dealer or whatnot. If you not happy with your broker dealer, talk to our team over here. If you have no interest in getting your securities license, let us know. We've got Zach over here in our office that can help your clients with any of that. And then if you did decide to get registered, we will transfer that client right back to you. So definitely not doing it to try to take any of your clients away. We're doing it for you to retain your clients. So keep this in mind. Let me know or call the office, ask to talk to anybody in our IAMS Wealth Management team, and they'd be happy to assist you. Next, we all like the fact that we're able to travel again for now anyway, I should say. But we have our Top Summit producers trip coming up here. Qualifications, you've got a whole nother year, whole nother year to qualify, but this is going to be an exclusive trip. We're pulling out all the stops on this one, guys. We're doing a Mediterranean cruise, starting off in Italy, going to Greece, Crotona, Italy. So take a look at this. If you have any questions on qualifications, it takes 4.5 million in premium, life and annuity premium. Let us know if you have any questions on that, and we would love to see you join us. Next, I'm excited to announce that we have our Life and Annuity Academy that's coming up here at the end of September. This is something that we weren't able to do last year due to COVID and the travel restrictions, but we are excited to announce that we're doing it again. Our first one, we will be partnering with a carrier in Des Moines, but the second one, and we are partnering with North American and our boy Jeff. They are going to host us at their new building, which that's exciting. But all the expenses are paid by us here at IAMS. We pay for your travel, your hotel, room, board, all of it. You walk away with having new strategies and new ways to help grow your business and understanding more, insurance concepts, things like that. So North American will be bringing in the best of the best to talk. This is not something that is for anybody that's, looking for insurance 101. This is going to be, rubbing elbows with other $1 million producers. So if you have any interest in this, you can either register on our website or give our office a call. We'll be happy to get you going. Jeff, is there anything you want to add on the North American side of that?
Well, you kind of hit on, we're super excited to show off the brand new building, so I think everybody will enjoy that. And then, I know we talked last week, Lisa, it's always great to meet everybody face to face that we're doing business with. So looking really forward to that.
And we are too. I'm going to just throw a quick poll out there. If you are interested in additional information on the Life and Annuity Academy, please go ahead and select that. And we'll be sure that we get you additional information. So I'll let that poll run for a minute. And I believe I forgot to run the poll to see if anybody wanted additional information on our IAMS Wealth Management team. So I will do that next as well. We want to make sure we get everybody's questions answered. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one. Sorry about that, guys. And here is if you want more information on our IAMS Wealth Management team. Again, I refer my guys to these guys all the time, and the experience they get is fantastic. So we're pretty proud of our IAMS Wealth Management team. Man, I can't talk this morning. All right. Thank you all for participating in those polls. Last, I'm going to just let you know we have Facebook and LinkedIn. We keep everybody updated, rate increases, what's new in the market, what carrier is doing what, like an academy with North American. We keep all that updated over here too. So don't hesitate to go ahead and like us or share us on LinkedIn or Facebook. And with that, Jeff, I think I'm done with my side of the fence here. Before I hand the mic over to Jeff, I do want you all to know Jeff and I love interaction. We love it when you guys throw out questions and things like that. So please utilize the question box. I'll monitor that for Jeff and then let him know when somebody wants to throw him a curveball. I dare you to challenge him. Um, so at that, Jeff, I'm going to switch the screen over to you, sir.
Thank you, and I guess I better be on my game this morning after you threw out that challenge, Lisa. All right. And are you seeing my screen, I trust?
I do see it. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Well, good morning, everyone. As Lisa said, my name is Jeff Altmeier, internal wholesaler here at North American, and Lisa and IAMS are a great partner with us. So I'm really excited to get on here and talk about a lot of the exciting things we have going at North American. We're having a fantastic sales year. If you're already doing business with us, thank you. Can't thank you enough for that business you send our way. If you're not, love to begin earning a portion of your annuity business. And with that, want to start off today talking about a couple of types of business that we're accepting that isn't super common in the industry at this moment. And we'll start with non-qualified stretch business and then pivot over to inherited IRAs. And so if maybe you're not doing business with us already, this is a great place to kind of test out North America and see how easy we are to do business as these types of cases do come up for you. And clients are going to have a wide range of needs, whether it's non-qualified funds, rolling over 401ks, things like that. But when they have loved ones or anybody that they're a beneficiary for pass away, they've got some various options with their monies. And the first one we'll hit on is non-qualified stretch. A ton of words on this screen, certainly not going to read them all to you. But the big thing with this is they can distribute the wealth out as the beneficiary over their life expectancy. So there's a beneficiary table, simply a divisor, and they have to take that certain amount each year to satisfy the IRS, can spread out that tax burden for them. The really cool thing is the account balance, that's going to remain tax deferred if there is cost basis in there. And payouts could be transferred to a contingent beneficiary in the event that the beneficiary passed away prior to the owner's death. So for non-qualified stretch business, if you have an in-force contract with North American, we can stretch virtually all of those contracts. There are a few one-offs over the years where it wouldn't work for various reasons. Again, that's something our claims department can walk you through. And then the other exciting part is for new business, non-qualified stretch is going to be available on what I would really call our two flagship accumulation products, our Performance Choice 8 product, and then our top-selling VersaChoice 10. As you're going to learn a little bit more later about the VersaChoice, you can add on the liquidity rider or leave that off, fully optional there. Pivoting over to inherited IRAs, and this tends to be, for whatever reason, a little bit more of a hot button topic, it seems like, than even non-qualified stretch. I'm sure, as everybody knows, when the Secure Act passed in December of 2019, kind of sent everybody scrambling because they were nice enough to give insurance companies about 11 days to figure out what they wanted to do with inherited IRA business. So I like to break it down into a couple different sections, pre-20 death and then deaths after 2020. And I should probably, back up even a little bit further. I think we're probably all familiar, but inherited IRAs, obviously being qualified funds, going to be fully taxable if the beneficiary takes that lump sum payout. So it can, continue to provide them some of that deferred growth and really lessen that tax impact for them right up front. So back to deaths prior to 2020. So we still take those as well. It does open up the product suite for you a little bit more. Performance Choice 8 and then VersaChoice 10, those are still going to be your available products, as well as the Charter Plus series or Omega if that would interest your client. Part of the reason that we can have a little bit larger product suite for pre-2020 deaths is we're still using the lifetime payout table. So the beneficiaries can take those payouts over the course of their remaining life expectancy. Well, that all changed with the Secure Act. And with the passing of that, and as time continues to move along, we see a lot of our competitors, really kind of pulling out of the inherited IRA space. So we're one of a handful, if not about the only one left, taking this type of business, especially for 2020 death and after with the Secure Act rules. The big difference you're going to see from the deaths that happened prior to Secure Act is we're only offering one indexed annuity option, and that's our 8-year Performance Choice product. do have the option of going into the 5 to 9 period certain on the SPIA as well. But for indexed annuities, just that 8-year performance choice option. Why is that? Because what they did, the trade-off for some of the other things they put in the Secure Act for clients, they always got to have a way to pay for things, right? And so one thing they took out was the life payout on the inherited IRA, and they changed it for a 10-year payout option. Now, we understand that there are some exceptions in the inherited IRA space that do still allow for lifetime payouts. Here at North American, the way we're administering those is we are requiring a 10-year payout. So the full contract has to be liquidated within 10 years of date of death. This is actually a screenshot of the form that you would fill out when you send us inherited IRA business. One big thing to keep in mind, because I've run into this a couple of times here recently, where the beneficiary waited too long to stretch the payment or stretch the IRA, it's got to happen within 1 year of the date of death. So keep that in mind as you're working with these beneficiaries. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to stretch those with North American.
Jeff, I want to chime in on that. You know, you and I had a case just I think it was last week, and they really only have 60 days left to get that thing in, simply because of that rule right there. You know, you got to transfer it over within 1 year of the death. So the guy couldn't believe me when I said, you know, North American is your home, and you can transfer that into this, you know, Performance Choice 8 and be able to stretch out the payments when it's convenient for them. The client then has control of when they want to take the payments. As long as they're all taken within the first 10 years, you're golden. But don't lose out on those opportunities, guys. No one's really talking about it because no one has a home for it. They don't even know that they have the capability of doing it. So spread the word with your clients, you know, let them know that they have this capability. It's a huge opportunity to set you apart from other guys out there. So that's my 2 cents, Jeff.
Yeah, I would agree with everything you said, and that you know, again, that year starts ticking from the date of death, and it's not something that I think that's addressed with a lot of beneficiaries. A couple other, I guess, technical pieces, if you will, that that I would say also is that we don't require. I know some of our competitors require that the client takes a distribution each and every year, working up to that 10-year date. We don't require that. They certainly can do it, but again, not required. We're just making sure they have to have it liquidated prior to the 10-year anniversary of date of death. So if, you know, happen to be a year where maybe for tax purposes it didn't make sense to take that distribution, they could forgo it that year or defer it all the way out 10 years. Again, you start getting into the lump sum piece of it then again, because we're going to require that payout. And then the other piece that I wanted to mention is that keeping in mind that while it is not required to take that payment each year, they still have to play within that 10% penalty-free withdrawal situation within the contract. So just because it's an inherited IRA doesn't mean they can take out more than the penalty-free there. And the last part I wanted to hit on with both non-qualified stretches and inherited IRAs is we have some fantastic marketing materials that you can use with your clients if they're in this situation. One for non-qualified stretch, it's got a frequently asked questions along with the inherited IRA. This is something, you know, feel free to get a hold of Lisa and she can get those materials out there if you think they'd be of interest to you. They're nice pieces to maybe just have kind of sitting in your office, if you will. So keep that in mind. Happy to get those out for you. So pivoting away from inherited IRAs, non-qualified stretches, wanted to talk about what is our top selling product by far here at North American and one of the top selling accumulation products in the industry, which is our North American VersaChoice. This is your nuts and bolts slide, if you will, here. Modified single premium. Well, what does that mean? It means it's flexible in the first contract year. So you can continue to add up until that first contract anniversary. After that, no further deposits. 10-year surrender charge schedule. Your pretty standard 10% penalty-free withdrawals. The one difference in this product is it does give you the ability for that penalty-free withdrawal in the first contract year. So you do not have to wait a year. Issue 0 to 79 says it may vary by state. I don't think on this product it really does. So you're pretty well always going to be good up to age 79. Minimum premium of 20,000. Where you really start hitting a sweet spot with this product is when you get to the high band rates, which are going to be 75,000 and above. But again, can start it with 20,000. So outside of this being a really, really strong accumulation product, and we'll get into a little bit more of that here in a few minutes, is what else sets this product apart? And it's the optional enhanced liquidity benefit rider, or ELB, the way we like to refer to it for short. And there's 4 pieces to this, and I always like to start with the first 2 that when I say any client can unlock these. And the first one is enhanced penalty-free withdrawals. So any year that the client doesn't take a withdrawal out of the contract, then the following year they have up to 20%. So maybe an unplanned expense, something of that nature. It also has a return of premium feature. So anytime after the 3rd contract year, the client can pull their premium back out if they so choose. This is what I call a true return of premium product, as we will refund the rider fee. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that fee is 60 basis points, and it is for all 4 benefits. But again, full return of premium, as we will refund the fee for the rider.
Hey, Jeff, I want to just add, that 60 basis points for all of these things that you're getting is very low compared to what other carriers are doing. You're usually seeing those in like almost a point or 95 basis points with other carriers. 60 basis points is nothing for these additional benefits, for these what if benefits. So just keep that in mind too, guys, as he's going over this. This is not a bad price.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100% there, Lisa. It's super competitive as far as the fee goes for the 4 benefits. The last 2 pieces are ADL-based or activities of daily living based, and no underwriting with these, obviously, being an indexed annuity. Client simply attests on the disclosure that at the time of application, they can perform all 6 ADLs. If at any point then they want to enact the ADL benefits, we simply require a physician's note stating they can no longer perform 2 of 6, and the condition's expected to be permanent. So what are they? Well, the first one is a waiver of surrender charges. Simply put, at any point during the contract, again, if the client can't perform 2 of 6 ADLs, we fully waive the surrender charges. They've got a liquid pool of money sitting there. They could pull it all out. They could pull a piece of it out, whatever they might want to do. The second part of it is our ADL-based payout benefit. And what this is your accumulation value times a multiplier. As you can see, there is a 2-year wait, but starting in year 3, get that 10% multiplier, working its way all the way up to year 6+ at a 25% multiplier on the accumulation value. This is paid out to the client in a 5-pay. So they would receive a 1/5 of that each year for up to the 5-year mark. Think of it, it's not an annuitization, but think of it like an annuitization where once you select this payout, the contract essentially ceases. If the client does pass away prior to the 5 years, the beneficiary continues to receive those payments. One concept I like to use around these couple of ADL benefits is, most people want to stay in their house as long as they can versus going to a, assisted living or a nursing home. So if you think about somebody that's got the contract with us, can no longer perform 2 of 6 ADLs, they've got the surrender charges waived, they could pull out a piece of that money, maybe to make some modifications to their house to make it more comfortable to stay there. And then they could take the remaining amount times the multiplier, again, assuming they're at least in year 3, and have that paid out to them over the course of 5 years. So it's really an accelerated benefit. A lot of times we think of ADL benefits in an income doubler, right? And those are great and perfectly fine, but we're doubling a lifetime income payment, where this ADL-based payout, we can get the more money out to the clients within a 5-year period, so it helps accelerate that benefit for them. Again, all 4 benefits, 60 basis points, fully optional rider, so definitely not required to put it on there. We're seeing somewhere in the neighborhood of about 40% of our policies coming in with this elected. Client can cancel the rider at any point after issue. If that does happen, though, they cannot go back and re-add it at a later time. State availability chart, I just like to throw this in there. this industry is big into with all the different states. There tends to be a lot of product variations. I'm happy to say with VersaChoice, we have it approved in 49 of the 50 states. Like most carriers, we don't do business in New York. And really the only difference product is in New Hampshire. We don't offer the 2-year point-to-point options. And again, ELB rider approved in every state. What we went over on the previous slide, no variations there. I always like to point out for our friends in California, if we have any of them on this call, that we do have the ELB rider approved in California. A lot of times it can be difficult out there with any type of nursing doubler or ADL type benefits. This may look familiar to you. It's from an email that we had sent out in the recent past. And really what we're highlighting here is, well, what's been the actual performance in the VersaChoice? Talking about an accumulation product is great and saying you have these great indices and they back test really well, but what's the real-time performance? What are clients seeing in the contract? And so these are average interest credits of all of our VersaChoice policyholders. As you can see in 2019, averaged 5.8, 2020, 6.7. I think we could more than likely all agree that those are very nice returns in an indexed annuity, kind of in the 4 to 6-ish range that we talk about a lot. That's probably realistic. You see the stars up at the top in our, I guess, top selling indice, if you will, or where we're seeing most of the allocations is our S&P Mark 5 index. Rates of return in there were a little bit higher. So that's actually the 2019 slide there, where they averaged about 11.8% with the margin. But again, seeing fantastic rates of return in real time. And I don't expect you to be able to, fully read the slide. There's a ton of numbers on there. Be happy to, Lisa can certainly get these out for you. This is essentially a snapshot. So instead of running illustrations, we have these for each and every product. You can see what the various allocations, how they back test. One thing I think is really cool about this VersaChoice product is we have multiple competitive indexes from S&P 500 to 2 S&P vol control indices, as well as a Fidelity, where you can buy up the par rate if you have somebody looking for that additional upside potential. The reason I like to bring that up is twofold. One, diversification, I think, always makes a lot of sense. It really doesn't affect probably what the client's going to see in returns long term, but what it does do is bring down any of those years where you're going to see a zero, making those annual reviews a little bit more fun to do when you're not having to explain away a zero. Also, if an index, as we know, if you've been in this industry long enough, there's no one index that always is going to be, quote unquote, the top performer. And some don't perform over the course of time, regardless of how they back test. If you've only got one shiny object or shiny indice in an accumulation product you're using, it doesn't give you a lot of options on where to pivot to over the course of a 7, 8, 10-year contract. Where in the VersaChoice, you got multiple quality indexes, you can pivot around or again, using that diversification story.
And that's a good point, Jeff. I want to just point out, I talk to a lot of agents and helping them with illustrations, walking them through illustrations. And that is a concern that we run into quite a bit out there and, out in the field is, well, this does great. What about renewal rates? What about, what if this strategy tanks? Well, good news is that we've got some options, and chances are you're going to need to probably reallocate things throughout the term of the contract. So having 11 options is a nice story to tell the client.
Yeah, exactly, and you really hit the nail on the head there, Lisa. And 9 of them are uncapped, and they're going to illustrate anywhere from especially when we're talking high band, from about 4 to 9.5%, or 4.5 to almost 11%, I guess, depending on, again, if you're buying up the fee for rate story there. So certainly keep it in mind. We're seeing great returns, renewal rates. I know that's always a big discussion point with these uncapped vol control strategies, specifically the excess return ones. Super steady renewal rates based off of how they're designed. So we're seeing hardly any movement up or down on those. Again, makes for great client reviews when renewal rates are solid and steady, and we're seeing those nice returns. Last but certainly not least, and one thing I always love to talk about is how can we put more money in your pocket as the producer? and it's our EPC program that's been around for a number of years now. The way the 2021 program works and the way it has worked is there's 3 different levels to work your way through based off of calendar year indexed annuity production. First one being at $1 million in FIA premium, get you that additional 50 basis points. Retro back to $1 starting this year, so we true you up there. That's a $5,000 check. At the president level, which is $3 million in calendar year production, an additional 1% comp. Retro back to $1 again. That's a $15,000 retro check. And then the top level, the chairman level, at $5 million in calendar year production, the 1.5% additional compensation. You guessed it, retro back to $1 starting this year, which is a $25,000 retro check. And whichever one of these levels you hit, you continue making that additional compensation for the remainder of 2021. The even cooler part is that to start 2022, you start out grandfathered at that particular level. So I just like to think of it, it's great to know with North American when I start out 2022 that I'm getting that additional compensation right off the bat, not something that I have to re-earn, if you will. No action required by you. Again, automatically enrolled based off doing business with us here at North American. A couple of caveats I always like to throw in here. If you are a registered rep, it's got to be approved through your broker dealer. We've got quite a few approvals, but again, not all of them. And then you do have to be at street level or below. Any questions, again, if you're wondering if you qualify or where you sit there, let Lisa know. And certainly as you're getting close to any of those numbers or passing through the program, we'll definitely keep you up to date on where you stand. We certainly love getting those payments out to folks. With that, Lisa, I think it might be a good time maybe to take a minute and launch that last poll before I close up shop here.
Okay, let me get that launched. All right. So here, can everybody see this? Jeff, can you see it?
I can.
Okay, cool. So if you want to see any illustrations, see how this VersaChoice product, with the benefits looks like on paper, for clients that you have in mind or whatnot, click yes. For those of you that may have been contracted with North American in the past and no longer, that contract expired or whatnot, and we need to get that process started for you again, click yes. I'll take care of you. And then obviously I'm going to send out all of you some of these brochures on inherited IRAs that Jeff kindly included in his presentation for us. I mean, I love the idea of just keeping this in either your marketing folder when you're meeting with clients or, at your desk for you to slide across the table or show on a webinar or a meeting, that, hey, we've got some other options for your inherited IRA. You would be surprised about the opportunity that's out there. Ran into a guy that had over $1 million in an IRA. So that, including with the executive bonus at North American, plus our, some of our things that we have here at IAMS for a new producer. I mean, he was, what was it, like 75 grand? It was a $75,000 payday for that guy. So, he's all set for 2022 and being at the higher level of getting that extra bonus. And that's on top of your commission, guys. So pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a very rich program, and I did have one more slide. At least I think I lost control here, but for maybe more of our visual learners in the audience that showed the breakdown of how they get to 75,000 at 5 million. But that's an excellent point. You hit 5 million with us between the retro payments and what you're earning in between the levels, if you will. It is 75,000 all in of additional commission for the year at 5 million.
That's awesome. All right, I'm going to close that. I'm going to change it back to you, Jeff. All right, you should be good.
All right, let me see here.
You see.
Okay, yep, I'm good to go. So this was the slide I was just referencing, kind of give you that visualization of how you get to the 75,000 between the retro payments and then the additional comp that you're earning in between the 1 and 3 and then 3 and 5 million levels. And with that, Lisa, that takes care of my prepared comments. I don't know if there's any questions, but happy to field those.
Yeah, I did have one question that came in, and I apologize. I'm not sure if he asked this when it was when we're talking about inherited IRAs or when we got into the VersaChoice. I think it was when we got into the VersaChoice, but he wanted to know if this works with inherited 401ks or 403bs as well. Um, you know, the VersaChoice is limited as far as, when the death occurred, right? Um,
Correct.
Yep. So maybe just touch base on, inherited IRAs again and how it works with 401ks or 403bs. Those are all included.
Yes. So obviously they can't keep it as a 401k, and that some of that is going to depend on where they're at as far as the plan administration goes. I guess I haven't seen a lot of inherited 401ks coming over. It would have to flip over to an IRA. That's one I'd wanted to actually do a little bit of checking on, in all honesty, Lisa, to see if we could take that.
Okay. Well, that's
So
something.
see, you challenged them. They did stump me.
We got one for the
Got
crowd,
one.
and yep. All right. Well, I don't
But
have anything else. Jeff, is there anything else you want to add?
no, again, appreciate everybody's time. Hopefully, as we went through there, you started thinking about clients, whether in that beneficiary situation yet, or for accumulation, or maybe they got some health concerns, ADLs. Love you to reach out to Lisa and chat about your next cases with her, especially from an accumulation perspective.
Yes, I will be following up with y'all. Um, Again, I thank you so much for your time this morning. If you have any questions for us, or even if you want to talk to Jeff, I can certainly arrange that as well. But give us a call. You could reach me, Lisa Lachendro, one of the annuity directors. I don't even know if I announced myself, but I am one of the annuity directors here at IAMS. And you can reach us here at the 800-255-5055. We don't have voicemail. You'll always talk to a live person, which is one thing that we pride ourselves on. And with that, you all have a great rest of the day and a wonderful week. Thanks again, Jeff, for
Yep,
spending some time with us this morning.
for sure. Thanks, everyone.
All right, have a good day.